In this video, we're going to walk through a transaction involving variable consideration. Variable consideration can make allocating this transaction price, step 4, difficult to do. Variable consideration exists when the transaction price depends on future events. These might include discounts or rebates, credits, performance bonuses, royalties, something that we're not sure will happen. And if we have variable consideration, companies are going to need to estimate the amount of revenue to be recognized. And they'll do that by looking at either expected values or the most likely amount. So we're going to take a look at both of those, the expected value and most likely amount. In our expected value calculation, we will assign probabilities to a range of potential outcomes or amounts. We've done this before in basic statistics. And this might be appropriate if a company has a large number of contracts with similar characteristics. So they have, and those contracts have a limited number of discrete outcomes. And the large number of contracts with similar characteristics is important because we need to have a basis for forming our estimations. That is, assigning our probabilities to potential outcomes. If we don't have a limited number of discrete outcomes, in other words, we have a very broad range of possible outcomes, we instead might want to go with an estimate based on our most likely amount. That is, the single most likely amount in a range of potential outcomes. And this might be appropriate, particularly if the contract only has 2 possible outcomes. In estimating variable consideration, we're only going to want to allocate variable consideration if we're reasonably sure we're going to receive it. In other words, as we're allocating that transaction price to a particular part of the contract, we need a price, transaction price that is, to make that allocation. And we have to be fairly certain we're going to actually receive that consideration. So as I mentioned earlier, companies will only recognize variable consideration if they have experience with similar contracts and are able to estimate any cumulative amounts of revenue. And based on experience, they don't expect a significant reversal of any revenues that they have previously recognized on the contract. If these criteria are not met, then our revenue recognition will be constrained. That is, we might have to delay revenue recognition until we have more certainty and information. Let's go ahead and take a look at an example. In this problem, we're going to take a look at a simple example involving the estimation of a variable consideration in terms of trying to determine a transaction price. We're told that Jeff Hoon, the president of Sarasota Always, agrees to construct a concrete cart path for Dakota Golf Club. Sarasota enters into a contract with Dakota to construct the path for $237,000. In addition, as part of the contract, we've been offered a performance bonus of $38,000 based on the timing of completion. The performance bonus decreases by $9,500 each week for every week beyond the agreed upon completion date. And Jeff has been involved in a number of contracts that had performance bonuses as part of the agreement. And as a result, he's fairly confident that he'll receive a good portion of the bonus and has put together the following estimates. So again, notice experience with this type of contract and can make reasonable estimates. On time, there's a 60% chance he expects the contract to be completed on time, where he will receive the full $38,000 bonus. Within 1 week, he will receive a bonus of $28,500, and within 2 weeks, he'll receive $19,000. And Jeff has assigned the following probabilities to these possible outcomes. So we're asked to determine the transaction price that we would compute or allocate to this part of our contract. We need to first work with our expected values. There's a 60% chance that we'll receive $38,000, so it has an expected value of $22,800. That's the 60% probability times the cash payment of $38,000. There's a 30% chance that we will receive $28,500. That has an expected value of $8,550. And then finally, there's a 10% chance that we will finish it within 2 weeks and receive only $19,000 of the bonus. So the expected value is $1,900. We sum up and our total expected value related to the bonus is $33,250. So in terms of what we would allocate to the transaction price for this portion of the contract, it would be the contract price for the cart of $237,000 plus $33,250 as the expected value of our bonus. In part 2 of our problem, we're assuming that Jeff has reviewed his work schedule and decides it makes more sense to complete this project on time. And he now believes the probability for completing the project on time is 90%, and there's only a 10% chance that the project will be 1 week late. So again, we go through the same process. We calculate the expected values of our bonuses, 90% chance of receiving $38,000, that's $34,200. A 10% chance of receiving $28,500, that has an expected value of $2,850. We sum up the expected values for a total expected value of the bonus of $37,050, and we would have an estimated total transaction price then of $274,050. Again, that's our $237,000 contract price plus the expected value of the bonus.